One of the things I consider funny it's actually a ha-ha funny, but it's also philosophically funny. And I encounter this with white trash more than any other group of people. They always seem to be defiant of these rules and everything that are placed towards them until they actually get busted, and then they're not so tough anymore. Case in point, there's this one white trash couple. They knew my wife, so they pestered me frequently. And they went ahead and there was an NDA involved in renting a computer from Rent-A-Centers or none of these rent-to-own places. I think it was Rent-A-Center. And the rental agreement said cannot format the hard drive under any circumstances. And a few other restrictions, like can't install sound cards, can't open it to upgrade RAM. Basically, what it is. The only way to get around that is to pay off the computer. Now, people who are in undire straits, people who, work their butt off, they don't have these problems, obviously, when they get a computer like this. They'll go in Rent-A-Center, and they'll either pay most of it off. See, Rent-A-Center, I hate to say this, and this comes from experience, that my JVC TV with the iPod dock, which is now completely obsolete, that JVC TV we bought at Rent-A-Center, and in the end I did the math, and I'm like, it was advertised at, what was it advertised at? I don't, about $1,500, $1,800, but we ended up paying around $4,800, give or take, after it was paid off. And I'll never do that again. If it says $1,800 and I don't have it all, I'll finance, say I have $1,500, then I'll put $1,500 down and finance the last part, making it slightly over $2,000 by my mathematics. Today, though, I don't even have to worry about that. I just throw it on one of my credit cards. Yeah, I'm tapped out, so I would not foolishly go and use it for a TV. Not for that price. If I wanted a new TV, I paid $250 and just buy whatever. So I just remember this white trash couple, like, oh, we would go ahead and do whatever we want to. And it's like, yeah, but what if it ends up getting repoed? I mean, if the item is not there or the item is manipulated, that you go to court. But then I also notice these people, that either they don't have credit cards or they got bad credit, they don't have bank accounts, so forth and so on. That look at. Have you ever seen American History X? Now, I'm not calling them Nazis or anything like that. I'm just pointing out that the Nazi in question, the character Seth, is white trash, and he sprays bugs for a living, and doesn't really look like he's going to do any better in life than that. And Edward Norton's character, I think his name's Derek, goes ahead and points that out after growing up in prison, having a really bad time in prison for what he did. Now, I think under the circumstances he was innocent until he curb stomped the guy. I don't agree with his political ideology at all. That's the wrong way to go about things. But I believe that the growing up he did in prison, the character, that's reflected in the movie. And yeah, this fat fuck, he wants to, he sprays bugs for a living. And you know what, that's exemplified. I've seen people who are white trash work their ass off, and at work they're extremely professional, and they got this shit together at work. And I've seen it where they're just absolutely stupid. I've seen them where they don't get oil changes in their car. Yes, I've heard this. We don't have to ever change our air filter in our house, and we don't ever have to get an oil change or take our car in for any form of maintenance. Okay, whatever. And they're always stoned or drunk out of their mind, or sometimes both. It's impossible to deal with them. And that doesn't mean a person who's all tatted up or whatever today. I mean, they look similar, but the looks are deceiving. They're absolutely not. You can't go and say, well, this biker who has his hair, you know, dreadlocks and got these tattoos of naked women up and down his arm and everything, and a beer belly out in Texas, that guy's white. Well, he's not white trash. He's just a guy who enjoys the finer things that his job allows him to buy. No, and in Las Vegas, I can't speak for anywhere else. In Las Vegas, the white trash is rampant. And I know that won't win me any points if I ever ran for an elected office or anything, but it's true. It's hard to talk to these people. They're so deluded amongst themselves. They're not even legends of their own minds. They're failures in their own minds. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, let's see. I got a text message as usual. You know, I sit around. My back is out. So I'm just kind of laid up in a funky position because of that. And nobody texts me when I reply to their text. And the minute I start recording, every time I start recording, people text me. Or like when I was trying to edit the Hello, I'm a Pizza's stuff. I mean, his literature. It was just like, can I be interrupted anymore while I'm trying to edit this? I mean, holy cow. So anyways, that's enough about white trash. I'm going to move on to just trash in general. When I was working at a grocery store, and this is why my back is so poor. When I worked at a grocery store, eons ago, I worked at a grocery store. I was 21, and I was already doing other businesses, so I really didn't need to work at the grocery store. Other than I was actually bored at home, till they started actually taking advantage of my good nature. So I went ahead and left that, and what did I do? I went and used my small business money to help another small business, which that ended in disaster. But you know what? That's business. So when I was at the grocery store, these people, what in the fuck is wrong with them? Now you see, the store in question was O'Reilly's. That's a California chain. Why did they come to Las Vegas? I don't know. Their prices were awful, especially in the Las Vegas market. Right now, Albertsons is up and down, and they bought Vons out here. But Smith's is like competing with Walmart. Now, the only thing I know is Smith's has cheaper frozen foods than Walmart, but Walmart has a bigger variety of frozen foods. So those two are going to duke it out. And then there's the low-end places like 99-cent stores, Family Dollars, Dollar General, stuff like that. But Albertsons is pretty high price. Right now they're on sale. Once that sale ends, they're back to their high price sales. And it's same with Vons. It was like if we went to Vons or Albertsons, it'd be once in a while. Same with this other place called Sprouts. Trader Joe's is like right in the middle. They're not as cheap as Smith's or Walmart, but they're not as expensive as Albertsons and Vons. So I guess Trader Joe's is an okay place to go. And then Whole Foods is just ridiculous. I'm sure there's other places, but those are the grocery stores by my house. So I worked at Raley's. Now, Raley's came in by buying a handful of Albertsons, and then Albertsons went ahead and bought Lucky. Lucky was the best damn grocery store that ever happened in Las Vegas. Because other than shopping on the military base, which is only privileged to military personnel and their dependents, nobody could compete with Lucky in prices, availability of product in the store, so forth and so on. Lucky, when the Lucky was originally opened, within a year they thrashed everyone else. I hate Smith's. I don't hate the company. I just hate the layout of the stores and everything.
The markets are coming! Yes, and Mario is your only hope. Team up with him in Super Mario Land. Guide him on the Nintendo Game Boy. Challenge the mysteries and terrors of ancient Egypt. Battle all the horrors of the deep. Master lots of weird worlds to give Mario a happy ending and make your world a better place. Super Mario Land and other exciting games for Game Boy. Nintendo, now you're playing with power. Portable power.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master. Mario is your enemy.
The wicked imposter Wario has cast an evil spell over Mario Land.
Don't let Mario get the 6 golden coins. Don't let Mario reach the palace.
This is the biggest, most dangerous, most challenging Game Boy adventure yet.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Don't fall under Wario's evil spell in Super Mario Land 2, only on Game Boy.
And they're even worse today than they were before, but Albertsons was pathetic. And Vaughn's was just not around at the time. This is 27 years ago. So Lucky, they had a magazine rack. Their magazine rack was a thing of beauty. It took up a whole aisle. And then on one side would be novels and other books. And then they have all these magazines, and then there'd be nothing but comics on one quadrant of this aisle. Comic books. You name it, it was there. And then video game magazines and computer magazines above that. It was really good strategic placing. So I remember always going in there and walking out with comic books and stuff like that. So Lucky got bought by Albertsons, and Albertsons sold their previous locations to Rayleigh's. I think they just put Rayleigh on the bags and stuff, but if it was Rayleigh's, they had an apostrophe S. Wow, I mean, the store director, the assistant store director, they were good guys. I'm not saying that the assistant store director who was originally there when I got there, he wasn't super great, but he tolerated when I would make a mistake or something like that. Not just me, everyone. He would coach people. That's why he became a store director. He got promoted while I was there. There is a bitch of a manager. I won't go into anybody's names here. There was not a bitch. Bitch is the wrong word. A cunt. A twat. A twat cunt of a manager. She wasn't even a manager. She was a key flicker. And I got ordered by both the store director and the regional trainer. Now, people don't know this. In Rayleigh's hierarchy at the time, the regional trainer could fire a store director. He was like the squeeze in the hourglass. Everyone had to pass through him and deal with him. And me and this guy just hit it off, so we became friends. And he told me, go up there. Tell her all your problems. Any problem. Just make up problems if you don't have problems. And the store director agreed, so I did that. There was another key flicker, and me and him, wow, we really, like, he drove a classic car, and I would tell him stuff, and he would tell me stuff, and, we had a good time and everything. Then there was a few others, and then they're like, oh, this person's a man, that person. No, you only have so many managers. There's head clerks. We call them key flickers, because every $500, they have to come in and flick the key on the register. And that's why they're called key flickers. So, this cunt twat, or twat cunt, always went ahead and, like, she was just a bitch, and she would, like, bruise fruit, and she's like, you're not cutting it and everything, and I told her, look, I don't have quick twitch muscles, so I go as fast as I possibly can. You understand that? I said, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but I own 3 other businesses. I don't actually have to work here, I'm just bored. Because it's difficult to explain to someone that I have full-time college, I run these 3 businesses, more or less not hands-on, but from behind the scenes, because I trusted my staff, especially when my mother was and my uncle. My mother and my uncle was, managers at 2 of the 3 stores. Third store was not family, so I didn't have family, which I prefer, but I didn't have family there. So I didn't really have to worry about the 2 other places that I owned. And the third one I didn't have to worry about either, because it wasn't a full-on ownership. It was an investment ownership. So me and these guys, we trusted the manager. That was a mistake in hindsight. His problem was marijuana. If you think pot is harmless or whatever, you're full of shit, because, from an owner's perspective, booze and marijuana seems to have brought down perfectly good business ambitions in my life. Maybe it doesn't affect you. Maybe you have enough money or something. I don't. And, I work my ass off for what money I have, and maybe if I did bring in money, I wouldn't care about doing marijuana all day long. It wouldn't bother me because I already have my success, but if I'm not there, why am I gonna blow my money off or whatever? I smoke a cigar a month. You know how much I pay for my cigar? I don't pay more than $5. And when I do, it takes an hour or 2 hours to burn down, and I'm not in a hurry to smoke it. That's a privilege. I don't buy any booze. I'm not a teetotaler, but I don't buy any booze. I don't buy any drugs because I'm not in that position to buy it. So I got a couple $1 million, that's fine. But this third business of mine, the owner was just, we called him the owner. Because, see, we gave him investment capital and our management experience, and then he would run things. It just, the amount of drugs he wanted to do. It's like, what in the world? What in the world, guy? Come on. When you're pulling in a personal salary of $2,000 a month, go ahead and buy some drugs. So you see where my take is on drugs. I'm not against its use unless you can't afford it. And if you don't have a steady job and you're not working, and you ain't in position to have the luxury and privilege of drugs. So that's why pot is not harmless when a person's at the very bottom. It goes back to the white trash people. So other things at this grocery store, a lot of them were Albertsons holdovers. And I said to one, you keep calling a store Albertsons, so pack your shit. And I'm a utility clerk at this point. That's a fancy word for janitor. I kind of liked it because I got to dust these shelves that haven't been dusted ever. And I said, pack your shit up and go across the street to Albertsons. And I remember the store director was like, no, don't talk to them like that. And then I heard him say it to somebody, so that was kind of funny. My trust in the company was pretty high. The count lady, she wasn't supposed to let anybody into the count room, and I had no idea it was the count room. I'd just go in. I would quickly change the trash, do a sweep up where the doors are, where the passageway was the most, and then I'd leave. And she said, you're not really supposed to be in here. I said, oh, well, I won't come in anymore. And she's like, you can't, because you don't do anything bad. I don't oogle money or anything like that. There was a sister of an ex-girlfriend who worked there, and then she would talk to me about things just because we know each other or whatever. But, her problem is that she feels forever victimized and wronged by being born. Yeah, we all didn't ask to be born, so let's make the best of the situation. Now, it finally came down to it that there was this backroom manager, and they were training me to go ahead and take over his position. What was interesting was when I went ahead and filled in for the deli manager, they were amazed about how clean I had the deli. Everything was clean, because mostly I was washing the equipment. My goodness, you would have no idea until you work in the back of a deli or a fast food restaurant how dirty equipment gets quickly. And they were amazed. I'm like, why don't you all clean it like this? It was no skin off my ass whatsoever to do that. That was easy shit. But wow, they were baffled that I could actually go and clean the deli from the the deli went from the next to the
When I play Terminator 2 with the Sega Menacer, I'm not afraid of deadly hunter killers, the indestructible T-1000, endless endoskeletons, the evil Skynet. Nothing.
Bobby! Come give your Aunt Bertha a big kiss.
Well, almost nothing.
Now, two can play the games of the Super NES Super Scope, Yoshi Safari, and Metal Combat Falcon's Revenge. So to prepare yourself, you might want to consider some basic training exercises.
Let's play here.
east side doors, you know, made an L shape, and then obviously there was the big back room in the deli. The only thing I didn't clean was the rotisserie oven because new chickens had just been put in. If I had caught it during the grace period where the cooked chickens are taken out, the new chickens are stuck on the stick to be rotisseried, cooked, I would have went ahead and cleaned that up completely. But they went ahead and thought because of my performance there. Now the butcher, the head butcher, he offered me the job. I said, I can't do it. I can't. I'll throw up and everything. You know, in retrospect, I should have taken that one. That one would have been a promotion to $44,000 a year immediately back then. This is like the late 90s or something. So that would have been a lot of money. That'd make me question why I'm working my ass off at some businesses that don't pay. I mean, ownership is one thing. You have absolute freedom. That's something you can't be bought. But yeah, wow. Yeah, you know, today I would probably be making near $100,000 a day. I mean, a year, not a day, a year. But because I'd have seniority and all that stuff, I would be a butcher now for almost 2 decades. But I can't tolerate it. I can't tolerate the smell. I can't cut things. It's not like I can grow a tolerance to it. I can't. It actually makes me nauseous. So I had to pass on that. I was like, well, let's give him the back room. This guy can retire. You see, the deli manager, because of Albertson's seniority, Raley's was stuck paying him $38 an hour way back then. And this other guy, they were paying $42 an hour. He's like, oh, the company can't afford me, $42 an hour to basically fuck off. So I went ahead, and I completely, you know, there was like, he wanted me to jump in a trash compactor because someone threw away the inventory sheet. He's like, oh, you got to do that, bro. I said, fuck you, I do. So I don't jump in there. What if it accidentally goes off? Oh, well, it's like, no, you don't understand. You don't go in there. There's a reason it says don't go in there. You're stupid, and you go in there. And he's a stupid man because, you know, I don't want to describe him in any way whatsoever other than he's stupid. I'm going to describe his actions. That's what makes him a stupid person. When I went to go get grocery bags, I didn't know where they were in the attic. There was actually a second story, and the only way to get up there was take a ladder. I'm afraid of heights, so I had a difficult time getting up there. But once I got up there, I really don't mind. It's just, you know, I got to take the ladder back again. But it's not like I dreaded it, because if I remember, the ladder was like enclosed, so it takes real effort to fuck up and hurt yourself on this ladder. So I went ahead and went up there and was looking for grocery bags. Because I don't know why the grocery bags are up here, because I never restocked them from up there before. So he grabs them and says, you got to get them faster, bro. And then he throws them at me, and that threw my back out. And to this day, I've been suffering from that exact back injury. I really should have sued Raley's. I should have sued him. Under OSHA, and under the Labor Department, both state and federal, he did break the law. And you know, this is why I'm telling you this. Now you're wondering, okay, well, that's a bit uninteresting. Why am I saying this? Well, to all of you out there, if someone wrongs you, they want to throw things at you, they want to scream and yell at you, they want to abuse you, and you think you have to take it for $1, fuck it. Fight back. Yell back at them. Say no. Go get a manager. Pull out your phone if you got a phone on you. Now, I despise that. I don't think a person should have a smartphone on them during the job. But, hey, if you got it, use it. Turn it on and record them. Say, I'm recording you, bro, because you're trying to harm me. You do not, as a worker, do not have to take this shit from the bosses. And I'm telling you that as someone who would be your boss. I would love to open a grocery store myself, or a TV station, or a radio station, or a video arcade, or a bookstore, or a comic book store, or a hobby store, whatever. You name it, I'll open it. Maybe I'll open all of those over my course of my lifetime. I still got many decades left. And you know when I do? You ever heard of Market Basket? I want to be just like that Arthur T. I think that's his name, Arthur T. I want to be just like that CEO. I want to give profit sharing. I want people to feel good when they come to work and stuff like that. And I will not tolerate managers like this. And that's why I'm sharing it for you, for your positive benefit and betterment. You don't have to ever take shit from someone, especially when they're lower than you and they're trash. Maybe they're white trash, maybe they're brown trash, maybe they're yellow trash, maybe they're rainbow trash, maybe they're rainbow bright, maybe they're plaid trash, maybe they're obtuse trash, maybe whatever. They're trash garbage. Because they don't care. At the end of the day, will they help you with your tire if it's flat? Fuck no. Will they give you a shirt when you need it? Fuck no. Will they give you $10 just so you can make it through the week? Fuck no. I had a manager when I worked at Odyssey Records. Yeah, a long time ago, too. When I worked at Odyssey Records, I told him, man, I just need a 20 for the week. He's like, you know, I wish I could spot you, but I need a 22 for the week. Yeah, you know, the last place I worked, we would just get in advance, and, you know, it would cover us. Yeah, I know. I worked at a place like that, too. It was really good just to get a small 20 out of your paycheck just so you can get by. I remember him to this day. He was a good manager. Fortunately, he was the graveyard manager. Odyssey Records was a record store open 24 hours a day. He was the graveyard manager and the so-called acting manager. Oh, man, that guy was a piece of work. Real piece of shit. You know, after I actually resigned from that job, I got a very hefty check thanks to my attorney from Odyssey Records. And that guy stood up for me in the court case. I wasn't there. I was asked not to attend by my attorney. She thought that was the good strategy. I won, so obviously it was the good strategy. And yeah, that was fucking amazing. I got that. So it does work when you got a good management team. When you're willing to listen to them, employees are the most important thing in business. It doesn't matter if it's service industry or heavy industry. The employee has to be taken care of. And I don't believe in this ruthless aggression, this Steve Jobsian approach, and I don't believe in cheating people, and I don't believe that it's all about profit or anything like that. It's all about taking care of it. Think about this. If someone moves into an apartment complex I have, and I better be the full-time manager, and they got a problem, I come over and I take care of it. By taking care of it, I want to make sure that they feel that their rent money, as long as it's paid, is going towards something. If the rent money is not paid, I'm reluctant to come in there. I want to know why, though, before I come in and do any form of fixing. See, the rent money is supposed to pay for my property taxes, it's supposed to pay for my other taxes, my utility bills, so forth and so on. So I want to make sure my tenants are happy. If there's an association at the apartment complex making my tenants miserable, they're gone. That's another thing. If you live in a housing association, sue those bastards. You know, they have all these un-American laws, and the U.S. Constitution says that any contract you sign that contradicts the United States Constitution is thereby nullified. And only the provisions that are in concert with the United States Constitution are part of the contract that are living. Oh, you didn't know that? Well, I'm telling you that now. I'm not an attorney, So you consult an attorney about that, and he might tell you different. If he does get a different attorney, that attorney is wrong. That much I will tell you. But no, I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor.
You don't stop playing because you get old. But you could get old if you stop playing. Game Boy from Nintendo.
Killer game from Nintendo. Dr. Mario. Wow. But it ain't what you think. You get to zap these viruses. And with 2 players, you can actually trash the other guy. Remember, kids, try this at home. Hey, you can get it for Game Boy, too.
Or anything. I'm just somebody who's had a lot of world experience at a very young age. And it's absolutely amazing that I meet people who are older than me who are dumber than dog shit. I can't believe that. Oh, there's no video game news. That's kind of why I'm rambling on here. Yesterday I went ahead and put up a video, and I covered a wealth of topics. Today I'm not really doing that. This is more just talking, whether people want to listen or not. I encourage that people listen. If you notice, I try to do a slideshow, and I'll do that again and again and again. You know, I'm going to make other slideshows. Something though I wasn't satisfied with. Absolutely not satisfied. I don't mind the commercials. Those are meant to annoy you and kind of be a parody of some sort. But something that just didn't do it for me is I don't want to do the logos, the theme songs, or anything. I just wanted to bring that up so anyone who has watched it knows that this is still the same channel and everything. I've been thinking about maybe going on to Daily Motion or Vimeo or both, and maybe a few other video sharing sites and start putting my content up there, like the Internet Archive. Though I don't trust the Marxist politics of the owner of the Internet Archive. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea, though, to go ahead and do that. I can also start my own URL again, my own website, but I don't think so, no. The idea is to save money at this juncture, this gesture, and this jester of my life. So I don't want to pursue going too far in anything. Even having a Daily Motion or a Vimeo account would drive me crazy. If I could monetize the Daily Motion account, then I might dump everything over there as a backup from all my accounts. But I don't know if I'll do that yet. I just don't. I haven't heard anything positive or negative of Daily Motion or Vimeo other than they're there. And that really doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I guess I could start an account at one of these services that won't get flagged for copyright, right? But YouTube seems to be, unfortunately, the big dog, so they don't have a monopoly, do they? No, I don't know about that. I don't know people who watch outside of YouTube. And the few times I've been on Daily Motion or Vimeo, I haven't really found anything other than 1 or 2 videos that intrigue me. I would go to Daily Motion if Gaming History Source said, oh, well, I can't put up the full version here, go to Daily Motion. And RetroCore, he has his Sega domain, so I just go there and get his stuff. I don't use Twitch, and no, I don't see Twitch as a competitor either. Twitch, Daily Motion, Vimeo, I don't see it. If Twitch is so big, how come none of my friends use it who are all into gaming? I don't mean my YouTube friends, I mean my actual in real life friends. None of them use Twitch. Only people who've told me about Twitch are people I don't know. People who aren't my friends. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck Twitch. That's all I've got to say. Plus, Twitch is Amazon. Yeah, think about that for a minute. Twitch is owned by Amazon, so it's either lose the copyright to Google or you lose the copyright to Amazon. You know, it would just be nice if things took off. Then, you know, I don't have to worry about job hunting. This would be my full-time job, and if things took off, you would see very quickly, if I got a very large amount of money very quickly, just, you know, enough to pay my bills and then have some left over, you know, better computers, 60 frames a second, better editing, better narration, better titles. Everything would be better, better, better. But right now, I can't do any of that because I can't afford it. So, you know, and don't give me that bullshit that, oh, you're supposed to put in the effort, then money comes. It doesn't work that way if you don't have money to begin with. I'm not Walt Disney or Steve Jobs who can go talk a banker into giving me money. That's how they did it. That's why I cited them. I can't do that. I go talk to a bank today. They don't want to talk. They want me to fill out some paperwork. This isn't the old days of where I sit down with a loan officer and tell them everything, and then they go ahead and, based on my merits and records and everything, decide whether or not I will get a loan or they would invest in me. And the problem with Las Vegas is every time someone tells me something about a venture capitalist or a manager or whatever, it never peters out. I look at these people, and they're involved in this business or that business, and then a couple of years later, they're flat broke. That's what happened. My stepdad kept talking about these two guys. Oh, these two guys I know. They fix computers, and this. Why don't you go visit? I said, fuck them. There's no money in computer repair. Guess what? There isn't. Why? Because the iPhone and the iPad came out, and then everyone copied that. And today, when a computer breaks, you just go and get another one. There literally is no more computer repair. The one last computer repair business I was going to, they closed. Now, that doesn't mean that's the last one in Las Vegas. But they can't make any money. All the shops I used to visit, these small computer shops I used to visit on a weekly basis, talk to the owner, shoot the breeze. You know, we play some Quake sometimes on the work computers or whatever. Everyone's gone. Apple or Windows. No, fuck Linux. Linux is like 1 to 3% of computing. I'm not talking about big computers. I'm talking about in the consumer space. How do I know that? Because I talk to the guys. Anyone brings you a Linux machine? No. You know, so realistically, a computer should last 5 years, maybe 3 years at a minimum, 5 years at a maximum, then all be replaced. Yes, I know a few places that are still using Windows 3.1, 386.15s. And I'm not joking either. They don't have any reason. They never changed their email, or whatever. Some of them are still using dial-up. Now, I don't know if I don't think that. Well, I used to be able to get on to AOL with AOL 2.5, but the last time I did that was way over 10 years ago. The last time I did that experiment. So I don't think it's possible anymore. I'm just saying. If they do get onto it, then they just have to use a separate browser, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's the other thing. Maybe they're using equipment like this lawyer I know. I forgot what he does specifically with the computer. I know he checks email and a few other things, but I know he doesn't do anything too sophisticated on this computer. But you know, in an era of PDFs and all that stuff, you know, I don't know if his computer is going to hack it anymore. It goes the same. My stepdad used a G4 Mac Mini with Leopard or Tiger, and you know, it can only go so far after a while. Feels like, oh, I have to keep updating the browser, and a few other little things, and you know, it can only go so far, maximum RAM or not. But yeah, there's people who get a decade's use out of a computer. That's okay too. It depends on what a person's doing. I'm running headlong into here, with the exception of my iPhone. Everything else I bought past the Rubicon, and now I have to consider what.
Let's go racing! It's Super Mario Kart Funny Car Madness! Only on Super NES! Turn the track into a giant mud pit! Or burn rubber on ice, wood, or asphalt! Mix it up for the big boys! See Bowser in his Bigfoot-dropping truck! See Yoshi's go-kart really go! Mushrooms, banana peels, turtle shells! Dynamite! Check your rear view and make him eat dust! Or go into battle mode and ruin his day! 2 speeds! Fast and way too fast! It's 2-player fun on the split screen! Only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System! Now when you're playing with power, superpower!
Hey, thanks to these airbags here, this job is now a piece of cake, Claire.
But then...
Yeah, I'll tell you something, partner. I just might stick around a few more years.
But then...
No more dashboard du jour or Vince under glass, huh?
But Vince, look out! Even with airbags, Vince, you still gotta remember to buckle your safety belt.
Now you tell me.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
What am I going to do with it? You know, I could say, well, time flies and all that stuff, but you know, being honest here, you know, is it time? Is it time to replace all this stuff? And yes it is. And I'd like to have it to a point where I'm wealthy, and I don't mean wealthy like a billionaire. I mean where I'm pulling in through Patreon $2,600 a month to, you know, make a housing payment, make a car payment, pay for various insurances that we're forced to buy, pay my utilities, and still have some money left for retirement. After that, there's some excessive cash. And that's the kind of cash that I want to also keep around in case I need to, you know, there's an emergency, or I need to buy some equipment, or something like that. And then, you know, the same thing. I would love it if I could just make the, you know, a couple $100 from the commercials on YouTube after TGN takes their cut out, so I can go ahead and again give you guys some better shows. But it's not happening. It'll never happen. I guess I came in too late. I really do. Or it's something else, you know. I mean, you don't even want to get me started on what I think it is, and I'm not going to get it started. I'm not even going to have this conversation. Whatever it is, you know, YouTube feels the need to keep me at the bottom of the barrel, where my views are pathetic. So, you know, this is a failed business venture. Why am I keeping it up? Because it's free and easy. It really is. And you know, the effort I put in yesterday, that's not happening anymore. That was a one-time thing because I felt like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the Bouncing Grumpy with the slideshow, and I'm going to make more slideshows. So eventually it's all slideshow, no more Bouncing Grumpy. Unless I feel like it, obviously. And then I'm going to keep the arcade sound effects, and I'm still going to put in the fake commercials. And that's about it. That's going to be the format of the show, because there's no reason for me to put in this kind of effort to not have payout. I mean, it may not seem like a lot of... Yesterday's episode took me 12 hours start to finish. 1 hour to record the dialogue, and then everything else. And it's not even HD. And I didn't do it in HD. So if it was HD, it'd take me probably 2 to 3 days. There's a reason I don't do HD right now, is it just takes too long to encode with any program, really. Any video program. HD just seems to take too long to encode. So, I mean, that's just the way it is. And anybody who is my loyal viewers or whatever, which I can tell by the numbers, I got a lot of videos with 0 or 1 or 2. I don't know who who or what my loyalty is anymore. So again, that does diminish a person's driving factor. I can't speak for Giga Goomba XD, as probably one of the funniest channels on YouTube. Lonely Goomba, Gaijin Goomba, they seem to have very high marks, very big views. How they do it, I don't know. I don't know who's promoting them or anything like that. I'm not bashing them anymore or anything, and then, you know, I would bash anyone else. Actually, there's no bashing here at all. I'm just pointing out that Lonely Goomba and Giga Goomba, I mean, not Giga Goomba, Gaijin Goomba, and a few other of these Goomba-related guys, they all have very high views. I don't know if they're making money or not. It's not like I'm going to talk to them about it. However, Giga Goomba XD, I don't know if he's monetized or not. And I don't know how, you know, the copyrights would work on his videos or not. He hasn't even responded to the emails. We used to exchange emails, and he hasn't done that for a long time. I feel sorry for him. I've seen his views. They're dismal. They're less dismal than mine. Mine is just, my views are outright terrible. I mean, I don't have any views, so to speak, but his views are dismal. And he has a couple of videos that are, some are over 10,000, one's over 50,000. There's a few over 1,000, and the rest are in the hundreds. And I feel sorry for him. I think he wanted to do a full-time Goomba thing and hope that the money would come in from sponsorship or donations or contributions, whatever, and that he would be able to provide a comedy-oriented show of the Giga Goomba and his extended family. It doesn't happen. There isn't an hour that goes by that I'm not affected by this, which foments negativity in my brain. And there's a whole slew of topics right there, then and there. And I don't want to touch upon it. I mean, yeah, okay, it's good to get things off a person's chest. This isn't it. I've already flipped out on a few live streams, and I actually had the decency not to delete them. So I'm not looking to sit here and bitch, moan, and whine about how fucked up YouTube is. And I've heard guys who make plenty of money from YouTube even bitch, moan, and whine about certain things. I mean, even PewDiePie. When you're at the top of the heap. I'm not looking for PewDiePie's type of wealth or views. I just want to be in the middle. You know, the middle class. And to do that, that's why I thought it would be nice if I could make, I mean, I don't have $1 on my, I have people promote my Patreon and no one's even donated. What to say is, you know, that's fucked up. So, you know, whatever. I gotta reply to this message that came in. But anyways, yeah. Oh, the phone is right next to me. Why the hell did I not see that? Wow. So yeah, you know, it is fucked up. And, I don't know, though. I feel for a lot of YouTubers out there. And, you know, that's the raw, honest truth. And it's become... Well, you know, it is the honest truth. Yeah, it is a cutthroat business, and it takes money to make money, and, you know, for the people who are doing okay, not the ones at the top, but the ones right in the middle, enjoy it while it lasts. That's what I've got to tell you. Enjoy it while it lasts. It is the stock market in a different way. The views tell us if stocks are going up or down. So, anywho, this will be the last Grumpy Bears podcast for a while, because I've gotten some data, and it looks like I can go ahead and start cutting up videos. You'll see 5 of them later today after this one is uploaded. And I'm just gonna clean out my hard drives, and once the footage is gone, it's gone. I'm not even gonna.
This is your brain. This is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. It's not over yet. This is what your family goes through! And your friends, and your money! And your job, and your self-respect, and your future! Any questions?
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Bother with I'm not even gonna bother. You know, once it's there, it's there. If it gets claimed for a copyright, I take it down, and it's gonna disappear. I'm not gonna fight anything anymore. I'm gonna put in the most minimal amount of effort, and you know, hope that one of the casinos hires me. I really want to work for the MGM company because of pension and benefits, though I don't agree with them politically at all. And they're actually, you know, this won't win me over at MGM's employment office, but I think the head of MGM is a moron. He's a local moron. He's not a Las Vegan. He doesn't think like Las Vegas. He's running his casinos into the ground. But the casinos are gonna be here one way or another, no matter what happens. YouTube won't. If it keeps getting more restrictive and more dumb, people might just migrate over to Dailymotion. They might just migrate over to Vimeo, or as Maddox pointed out, they might just go somewhere else altogether that we don't know about yet. Restrictions, come on. There's no reason for them. So, I'm just gonna subtitle this madman's rant. I'm gonna stick in the Nintendo commercials and only PSAs if I run out of Nintendo commercials, and that's about it. I'm getting I'm gonna cut up some things after this episode is done, and I'm gonna put those up there. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut, upload everything. Now everything's done. There's going to be no more Mario Kart, no more Smash Bros. They don't get the views to support my efforts. If there is any Street Fighter 4 or Darkstalkers from the Xbox version, that's going to be completely random. I've lost all desire for effort here. I really have. I'll keep the Patreon open, but I'm not going to update anything on Patreon. That's a whole lot of work, too. You know, really, if I'm not getting paid, hey. And you know what? You know what I'm doing? Remember I told you earlier, bitch to the man? Well, hey, I am. So that's that on that. Whether you agree or disagree, you know, once I have a regular job, these uploads will probably stop cold turkey. Because I won't care anymore. I cannot go back to my older jobs because they're dead-end jobs. And what a dead-end job means is that there's no way to advance. The person is stuck there. You know, the money might be good, and maybe that's something not to complain about, but the money might not be enough. The money is enough to eke by. Enough to make a person lose their government benefits that they paid into, but not enough to survive. So, anyways, that's coffeeforbinky@gmail.com or coffeeforbinky at Patreon. If I could just get people to help out. Hey, if people help out, there'll be Patreon prizes and stuff. How can I do that if I can't afford anything right now?